Hi, good morning, one and all. Today we can discuss about a new topic that is musculoskeletal system. Here, musculoskeletal system means we can discuss about muscles and with bones. Before that, we can discuss about locomotion and movement. Why we can discuss about locomotion and movement means by the presence of bones, by the presence of muscles, movement and locomotion is takes place. What is meant by movement? Movement indicates the change in the position of the body part. This is my hand. Simply I change the position from here to here. When the change the position of the body part, that is called as a movement. And what is meant by locomotion? Locomotion means the organism move from one place to the another place for searching of the food materials and for mating. It means sexual participation, and also with the shelter and remaining activities. If the organism can be moved from the one place to the another place, that is called as a locomotion. That's why all movements is not a locomotion, but all locomotions are movement. Keep in mind. Okay, now here they having a different types of movements is present. Mainly one is the amoeboid movement, second one is the ciliary or flagellar movement, third one is the muscular movement. First we can go for the amoeboid movement. Suppose now this one is the cell. Inside they having a protoplasm. When the protoplasm is protruded forward like this, and they can form a pseudopodia. See, what is meant by pseudopodia? Pseudo indicates false, poda indicates legs, false legs. By the using of this pseudopodia, movement is takes place. That type of movement is called as a amoeboid movement. Amoeboid movement mainly seen in the white blood cells. That too, in white blood cells, it is seen in the cells of neutrophils. What is the use of the neutrophils? Neutrophils mainly useful for the capturing of the foreign particles. If any foreign particle is enter into in our body, these neutrophils can attack that foreign particles by the what type of movement? Amoeboid movement. The second one, ciliary and flagellar movement. Suppose this one is the trachea. In neck region they having a trachea. Suppose simply I will say, if any bacteria and virus is enter into our body through nasal cavity. Now the best example is the coronavirus. When it is enter in trachea, they having a ciliated cells. These ciliated cells can push this bacteria and foreign particles is up. That type of movement is called as a ciliary movement. That's why ciliary movement, where it is seen, the organism is lined by the ciliated cells. There only we can see the ciliary movement. Mainly in trachea and ventricles of brain. In brain they having a cavities. That cavities is called as a ventricles. Okay, and then flagellar. The sperm. Suppose the male gamete is called as a sperm. This is the sperm. Female gamete is called as a ova. The sperm enter into the female genital tract and touches the ova. At that time it can show a movement. That movement is called as a flagellar movement. Remaining by the using of the muscles, they can show a movement that is called as a muscular movement. That's why in our body we can see the amoeboid movement, we can see the ciliary movement and flagellar movement. Mostly we can see the muscular movement. Totally 40 to 50% of the body weight is contributed by muscles. The characteristics of the muscles. Muscles, what is the characters? Excitability, contractibility, relaxability and conductibility. What is about excitability, contractibility, conductibility, everything we will discuss in the next lesson. Now Basically for us three types of muscles is there. One is the skeletal muscles, another one is the smooth muscles, another one is the cardiac muscles. The muscles with bone is called as a skeletal muscles. Smooth muscles is present in the alimentary canal, that is the mouth to anus, and the reproductive organs and the excretory organs, they having a smooth muscles. In heart they can see the cardiac muscles. What is the differentiation between the skeletal muscles, smooth muscles and cardiac muscles? Skeletal muscles is long, like this long cylindrical one, and it is unbranched. Smooth muscles is the spindle shape, or also called as a fusiform. Cardiac muscles is a short cylindrical. Keep in mind, very important, cardiac muscles either mononucleated, it means they having a single nucleus, or binucleated. Smooth muscles is the uninucleated, skeletal muscles is the multinucleated. And then skeletal muscles is the striped. Striped means this is the muscle fiber, they having a dark and light bands. Next class we can clearly discuss about these bands. Striped, that when they having a stripe, that is called as a striated. Smooth muscles there is no striped, that is a non-striated one. Cardiac muscles is the striated one. Skeletal muscles voluntary. Voluntary means under our control, that is called as a voluntary. Suppose they having a muscles like this, they having a muscles is like this. When I hold, relax, hold, relax, it is under my control, that is called as a voluntary nature. Smooth muscles is the involuntary nature, it is not under our control. Suppose if you ate food material, that food material enter into the esophagus and stomach, you will say, hey, food come up, means it will come. No, it is not under our control, that is called as a involuntary. Cardiac muscles is the involuntary nature. Why? Because heart is not under control. A heart stop means it will be stops. No, that's why it is the involuntary nature. That's why cardiac muscles is the striated involuntary. Smooth muscles is the non-striated involuntary. Skeletal muscles is the striated voluntary. This is very important. Keep in mind. Now we can go for the structure of muscles. Suppose a muscle having so many muscle fibers. Now I take one muscle fiber. This is one muscle fiber. Muscle fiber is covered by a connective tissue sheath. That connective tissue sheath is called as a endomysium. So many like this, so many muscle fibers will be combined. They can form a bundle. This bundle is called as a fascicle. The bundle is covered by a connective tissue, that is called as a perimysium. Now so many bundles is combined, they can form a muscle, that is covered by a connective tissue, that is called as a epimysium. That's why for a muscle, if you go for the outer two inner layers, outer one is the epimysium, next is the perimysium, fascicle, endomysium, muscle fiber, from outer to inner. Now this one is the total, they having a muscle. The muscle is attached to the bones, that muscles is called as a skeletal muscles. Now the muscle is attached to the bones by a connective tissue. This connective tissue is called as a tendon. That's why what is tendon? Tendon is the connective tissue between the muscles and bones. Suppose bone to bone, they having a connective tissue, that is called as a ligament. That's why dense is what type of connective tissue? Tendon is a dense regulated connective tissue. Tomorrow class we can discuss about the striated ones.